Thank you very much, Chairman Wicker. And indeed, it's an honor to be with each of you. And Foreign Minister Tsahkna, it's just, it's so encouraging of the success of Estonia. My visit there, as I mentioned to you, to be on the banks of the Narva River. And the chairman, again, was ahead of the curve. People may speak Russian, but they don't want to be part of Russia. They want to be part of Estonia. And we've already heard in 1939 what German-speaking people, these recognition of Sudetenland, that Hitler had the same plan, and that's why we need to be strong. With that in mind, indeed, Foreign Minister, I want you to know that unity has indeed not crumbled. It's been really reaffirmed, and I'm an associate member of the NATO Parliamentary Assembly, and it's just so exciting to me to see NATO standing together and no wavering. It's just incredible. And then I'm also grateful to be the co-founder and co-chair of the European Union Caucus. Again, who would imagine the unity there? And the consequence of that is that one of the most recent studies I've seen is that in terms of per capita investments to assist the people of Ukraine, the United States has come in 17th per capita GDP. And so it's really clear indeed the excess over our providing of aid to any to our European allies, and so it's just so positive. And then I'm really grateful that indeed President Trump has recognized this in the past by putting American troops for the first time in Poland, by providing the Javelin missiles to the people of Ukraine to try to avoid this war in the first place, and then to stop Nord Stream 2, the funding of war criminal Putin. With that in mind, where we are is at what point should NATO shift to default air defense rules of engagement, including pre-delegated authority to shoot down hostile drones immediately? What are the operational risks of remaining under peacetime rules?
Thank you. Thank you about this question. This is a not only like practical question, it is actually going back to the history, and also I see it unfortunately today. This is something that President Putin is using very well. It's a fear. It's a fear of escalation, which is actually isolating sometimes our way of thinking, what is really happening. So President Putin is using the fear against us. And every time when Russia has more pressure on, he's going to talk about escalation. He's still going to talk about nuclear deterrence, and then the western part of the world will be frozen. And I can say you that in our region, we don't believe in that. And that's why we say as well that the red lines policy, in the meaning of NATO, must be very clear. If there is a violation of the airspace and we see the direct military threat to the NATO member state, we should use the force. And as well, it was asked after we called the United Nations Security Council meeting about this. It was in September when this high-level United Nations General Assembly week started. And later on as well, the same question was asked from President Trump, and he said very clearly that on the question that if you need to shoot the planes down, it was correct. We need to shoot them down if there is a threat. So I think that we have everything in place. We just need to understand that Putin understands exactly this language. He's pushing us, and if we are hesitating, if we are based on the fear, then he is pushing forward again and again. We see it since 2007, when actually President Putin published his plan during the Munich Security Conference. And he was very clear that his goal is to eliminate the root causes. And root causes for him is the collapse of Soviet Union. 2008, we saw invasion to Georgia, and 20% of the territory is still occupied. 2014, Ukraine war started, and response was not there. 2022 as well, we have full-scale war in Europe. So in that regard, why I'm too long, what I want to say is that we see very close to Russia that we must be very clear, no fear. If there is a need to use the force, we'll need to do it. And then the red lines are settled. Thank you.
And again, thank you. And my time is up. And actually, I just want to commend President Jones. We're so grateful for the Center for Strategic and International Studies, what that means. And as we have people around our Eastern European allies observing what we're saying today, they know to call on President Jones. And then Director Rao, thank you so much. The Hudson Institute, how fantastic it is. And a point I want to make, you mentioned Constanta. I was 28 years ago visiting Cluj-Napoca in Romania to recognize a sister city relationship with Columbia, South Carolina. And at that time, somebody said, hey, one day we dream that American ships will be coming to and docking at Constanta. Well, it came true 10 years later, not some far off. So how far? And then, but additionally, 28 years ago, I visited Chelyabinsk in Russia, where it was a sister city program put together, and it was so impressive to me. See our shared culture of art, literature, architecture, arts in every way, music, and my hopes for a free and independent Russia have been doomed by war criminal Putin. But the people of Russia, I'm just hoping one day they too will have the opportunities the people have of the eastern flank of NATO. I yield back.
Thank you. And now the chair recognizes Representative Steve.